Hi everyone, this is Dave from Geekanoids and welcome to my full review of the new 2012 5th generation iPod Touch. Now this is a great device, I'm going to tell you that right from the start of this video, but there are some negatives in my opinion. I'm going to show you the negatives first. Let's just scoot around the back of the iPod Touch first of all, and you can see here a little disc shape object in this bottom corner. This is where you can connect a wrist strap. You push this down, it pops up, you connect your wrist strap, and then when you're done with the wrist strap, you pop it back down. Now the wrist strap's very flimsy, and I don't see this lasting very long. This mechanism that pops up and down, I can see it getting caught, I can see the wrist strap getting torn, and it's just another thing to go wrong. I don't see where Apple were going with it, other than the fact they want to say that this can be comparable to a compact digital camera, which it almost can. It has got a great camera, but it's not going to replace a decent compact camera, and I think this was just sort of a gimmick, and I just don't like it. The second thing that I don't like is the way they've done the camera. If I just show you it from this angle, you can see that the actual camera protrudes from the back of the iPod Touch, and I don't like that at all because it catches when you're putting this in your pocket. It's not a rough edge, but it definitely sticks up enough to catch, and I don't see why they didn't just build this into the body. I know they've got an ultra thin device here, but I think they should have engineered it well enough to not have this protruding from the back. Apple are all about sleek lines, and this definitely spoils the sleek line when you're looking at the back of the iPod from this angle. So that's really the main negatives on this. What I want to show you next is how this looks like next to an iPhone 5. So let's turn this one on. Let's get my iPhone 5 and bring that into view for you. And it is very, very comparable. The screens, although they're said to be the same, they're not entirely the same. The viewing angles are slightly different, but they're the same resolution, and it's very, very high quality on the iPod Touch. I don't think you'll be disappointed with the screen quality in the slightest. Performance isn't the same. The iPod Touch is not as fast as the iPhone 5. It doesn't have the same processor, but it is very, very near. Let me just turn these off and I'll show you the sort of physical aspects. You can see it's got the same height and width. The thickness, the iPod Touch is quite a lot thinner, and in the hand the iPod Touch is quite a bit lighter as well. Not too much in it, but feels a little tiny bit lighter in the hand. The actual button placement, well, very similar. We haven't got that silencer switch on the side, but the volume up and down in the same position. On the bottom, again, very similar. We've got the 3.5mm audio jack on the same side, the lightning connector in the centre, and then the speaker off to the right hand side. And then round on the back, we've obviously got the camera placement in the same area, although it is a different camera module. And of course, the iPhone 5's is flush, whereas the iPod Touch, as I mentioned, does protrude from the back. Now what Apple did with the iPod Touch this time round is introduce colours. I went for the yellow version, but there's a whole host of different colours you can go for. They've done a brilliant job on the finish on the back of these. I'm not getting any marking on this so far, and it seems like a very robust finish to the back. So I'm hoping that the colouring won't scratch up too much, and hoping that it keeps its really nice looks. It just looks fantastic. You really do have to see it in person to really appreciate what they've done here. Now the actual device itself, what can I see you using this for? Well, there's two main highlights that I've really found during my test with this, and they're pretty much the same as with the iPhone 5. It's great as a media consumption device. Let's have a look at web browsing. We've got the Geekanoids website loading up here, and we can scoot on round into landscape form. It is just brilliant for browsing the internet. Very, very responsive, super clear screen. You can, of course, pinch to zoom as well, but the 4-inch screen really does lend itself well to doing some decent web browsing. It's a nice size. It's not going to be as good as, say, a 7-inch tablet or perhaps the iPad as it stands now, but it is a perfectly acceptable and very pleasant web browsing experience. The other thing that I think you'll find yourself doing a lot of with this is obviously media consumption in the way of videos. So let's tap on my iPhone 5 review. You must watch this if you haven't watched it. Please do check out the main channel page. Again, we can scoot round into landscape, and it is brilliant for watching videos back. Absolutely love it. Let's just pop that volume up.
And welcome to my full review of the Apple iPhone 5. Now, I've been using this exclusively since it came out on launch day, really putting it through its paces so I could bring you this review. I'm going to start off with the bad points because there are some bad points, and hopefully
you can see really good viewing angles on this. The audio is brilliant, and it is just a very pleasant experience using this to watch back videos. And then we've got the camera. Now, the camera offers up 5 megapixels when it comes to photos, and also full 1080p when it comes to video capture. And I've been extremely pleased with how this has been performing. Let me just show you some of the photos I've snapped. Very, very clear, very good detail. Let me go in close to this. Now, there is a separate video on the camera performance, so please do check that out, but just take my word for it, you will not be disappointed with the camera performance. It captures a lot of detail, the colours seem very accurate, you can get up nice and close as well. This shot was taken probably about sort of 2-3 centimeters away from my iCEO model here, and it just captures so much detail. So very, very good performance when it comes to the camera. And of course, capturing video, again, I'll play a little tiny bit back of this and you'll see some really good video quality. It is very, very good when it comes to using this as a video camera. So where do I see this fitting in within the marketplace? Of course, we've got the iPhone 5, but not everyone wants to sign up to a 1 year or 2 year contract. Some people have different mobile phones as well, but still want to experience iOS on an MP3 player and media consumption device. And this really does deliver. You've got great video experience, great web browsing, email, and then we've got the camera on top of that, which performs extremely well. I think the pricing is a little bit high. I think Apple should really consider bringing the price of the iPod Touch down a little bit now, but they have done a marvellous job on the design. I love the colours. I can forgive it this little sort of gimmicky thing down here for adding the wrist strap. I can forgive it the camera being sort of exposed like it is. It is a great device. This is the 5th generation 2012 iPod Touch. I can highly recommend this as a purchase. It is a really nice experience. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you've liked my video, please do give it a thumbs up. As always, please do subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video.